The air is heavy with silence, broken only by the rustle of tall grass swaying under the wind. But then a shadow sweeps across the ground, massive, deliberate, and menacing. Above, wings stretch wide, blotting out the sky. What if humans had evolved alongside terrifying giant owls, predators of the night that could strike without warning? How would survival have unfolded 6.5 million years ago, when early hominins clung to existence on the edge of fear? This is not just the story of life. It is the story of defiance against the darkness, where the hunted learned to endure against creatures born to dominate the skies. On the open savanna, a group of Australopithecus moves cautiously, their bodies low, their eyes darting between the swaying acacia trees and the open plain. The morning hunt has begun not for prey, but for roots, berries, and small creatures hidden beneath stones. They travel in tight formation, children pressed in the center, adults wielding sharp-edged stones chipped from river rocks. Each movement is calculated. Each sound in the grass is weighed against the possibility of death from above. The giant owls do not always wait for nightfall. Sometimes they strike in the dim glow of dawn, when shadows are long and fear is sharper than hunger. A male crouches near a termite mound, breaking it open with a pointed stick to scoop up writhing insects. The smell of earth fills the air. A female watches the horizon, scanning the shifting light. Suddenly, her shoulders stiffen. From the ridge, a pair of golden eyes gleams unblinking, set deep in a face fringed with feathers. The owl is motionless, yet its presence alone sends ripples of dread through the group. The hominins freeze, hearts pounding. A decision must be made to scatter and risk separation, or to huddle and risk being targeted together. The leader, scarred from old battles, raises a hand. With a sharp gesture, the group retreats toward the cover of a shallow ravine. They descend quickly, clambering down the rough slope. But their movement stirs the predator. A thunderous beat of wings erupts, and the sky is filled with an explosion of feathers. The giant owl launches, gliding soundlessly, its talons gleaming like curved blades. Panic spreads through the group as one of the younger males stumbles, slipping on loose stones. The predator's shadow falls directly over him, and the screamless terror in his eyes mirrors the raw truth of existence. Survival is fragile, and predators always wait. With instinct older than reason, two of the adults rush to his aid. One hurls a jagged stone upward. It misses the owl's body, but strikes against a wing, the sound sharp and metallic, like bone snapping. The great bird recoils, swerving away with a shriek that rattles the ravine. Dust rises. For now the group is spared, but the victory is fleeting. Above the tree line, more shadows gather. These owls hunt in pairs, sometimes in trios, and once they fixate on prey, they do not relent. The hominins know this truth. They must move, and quickly. Driven by urgency, the clan pushes deeper into the ravine. Their bare feet slap against the stone, their breaths ragged. Water trickles faintly somewhere ahead. If they can reach the river bend, they might use its narrow overhangs as shelter. The females clutch leaves folded into makeshift vessels, water saved from earlier journeys, their lifeline in this perilous flight. Behind them, the owls circle. Their silence is more terrifying than any roar for attack could come at any moment. As the sun rises higher, heat burns against the savanna. The owls retreat briefly to the trees, their eyes burning through the branches. The hominins collapse by the riverbank, drinking quickly, washing their wounds with handfuls of cool water. Yet no one truly rests. Every face, every gesture remains taut with awareness. Above, a warning call echoes not from the owls this time, but from other Australopithecus nearby. The clan is not alone. Another group approaches, drawn by the same river, the same need for shelter. But with other humans comes another danger rivalry territory, and the fight for survival, not only against beasts, but against their own kind. The leader grips a stone tightly, his knuckles white. His scarred face hardens as he watches the strangers appear on the ridge. The moment is balanced on a knife's edge. Predators circle above. Rivals gather ahead. The question is not if they will fight for survival, but how. The two clans lock eyes across the narrow river bend, neither moving at first. The air hums with tension, a silence as heavy as the wings of the owls that still circle above. The new arrivals are leaner, hungrier, their ribs visible beneath their fur. They carry tools, two sharpened sticks, stone flakes bound with sinew. In their eyes burns the same mix of fear and desperation. The river cannot sustain both groups yet. To drive the others away could invite attack at the very moment when the owls strike. The leader of the scarred clan steps forward slowly, his posture, tall shoulders squared, chest lifted. Behind him, his group forms a protective crescent, hiding the children within. The rivals mirror this motion. No words are spoken, language has not yet evolved, but meaning flows in every gesture, every angle of stance, every narrowed eye. Above the owls glide silent arrows in the sky. Their presence forces a decision. As the shadow of one sweeps over the riverbank, both clans scatter for cover. Instinct overriding rivalry. An enormous bird drops suddenly, talons outstretched aiming for a young female clutching a child. The rival clan's male closest to her hurls a spear of hardened wood. It pierces only feathers, but the force diverts the owl's strike, saving her. In that moment of chaos, something ancient stirs a realization that survival against this predator may demand unity rather than bloodshed. The two groups retreat together into the overhangs of the riverbank, pressing their backs against cool stone as the owls screech above. The predators circle, unable to reach them in the narrow space. Dust and feathers drift in the air. Both clans breathe heavily, the sound of their hearts echoing louder than the river. Hunger, mistrust, and fear still boil within them, but for now, necessity has bound them into fragile allies. Night falls quickly. Darkness deepens, and with it, the true terror of the giant owls awakens. Their eyes ignite like embers in the night sky, glowing with predatory fire. One bird perches silently on a broken tree, its silhouette immense against the moonlight. Another swoops low, its wings brushing the tall grass with a sound like rushing water. The hominins huddle together, clinging to one another for warmth and courage. From dried grasses, two females carefully spark embers by striking stone against stone, coaxing a weak flame into life. Firelight flickers against the rock, throwing shadows that confuse the owls circling above. The clan knows fire is their only weapon that can reach the skies. As the flames grow, a new rhythm builds in their movements. They raise burning branches and thrust them toward the night faces, twisted with defiance. The owls scream in frustration, their wings beating wildly against the rising heat. For a moment, humanity's ancestors push back the terror that rules the night. Yet even victory comes with a cost. Sparks leap onto the dry grasses of the savannah, and the wind carries flame outward. What was protection now threatens to consume everything. The hominins scramble to gather their possessions, their stone tools, their folded leaves of water, the few carcasses scavenged that day. Flames spread into the plains, illuminating the savannah in a terrible glow. Shadows of owls and humans dance together across the fire-lit grass, predator and prey bound in a struggle older than time. The clans have no choice but to flee once more. Racing into the darkness of the trees, their path lit only by fire behind and moonlight above. Deeper into the woodland, they move driven by smoke and fear. The crackling blaze dies into the distance, but the owls follow, still unrelenting, their cries echoing through the canopy. Survival has become a dance between earth and sky, between predator's talon and human resolve. And in this fragile alliance between rival clans, a new possibility has been born, the seed of cooperation, the first spark of a shared destiny. The forest grows quiet as dawn breaks golden light dripping through the canopy. Exhausted, the clans collapse near a fallen tree, their bodies pressed close, fire smoke still clinging to their fur. One child laughs softly, chasing a firefly, and the sound cuts through the night's terror like a promise. The owls retreat to the shadows, beaten back for now. Around the embers, the two clans share food, scavenged in haste, passing roots and berries hand to hand. Fear has not vanished, but something new flickers within them: unity. Against the sky's hunters, survival is no longer solitary. It is shared.